Greetings, everyone. Artemu the Violet Wizard here. Starting up my next Pokemon journey in Pokemon Gold version. This is a game I've been very looking forward to playing on Twitch for quite a while now. Because I have quite the history with this game. Because after my family got Pokemon Red, it was pretty fitting that the next games we would get would be the second generation games, and we started with Pokemon Gold. And just all in all, it was really awesome to jump into this game after experiencing the first games of the series, cause just gonna come right out of the gate and say it, Pokemon Gold and every other game that came after is so much better than the first generation games. Like, oh my god, the little improvements they did to just really make the game more complete is just amazing. It's actually been quite a while since I played Pokemon Gold. Because after playing it as a kid, I wouldn't get back into Johto again until Heart Gold and Soul Silver, which were released many years later, during Generation 4. And then the next time I touched the original Generation 2 games was when they were re-released on the Nintendo 3DS. So I've had quite a lot of chances to experience Johto in a lot of different ways. And all in all, this is still a region that is fairly important to me for help shaping me into the Pokemon fan that I am today. It's definitely a game that I enjoyed when I was younger. It'll be nice to revisit it and to see what still holds up very well, and other things that were improved upon in later games. With that said, it's time to jump into the Game Boy's finest. What? You woke me up. Will you check the clock for me? What time is it? So it's about 2:30 my time. How many minutes? 32? 2:32? Yikes! I overslept! Hello, sorry to keep you waiting. Welcome to the world of Pokemon. My name is Oak. People call me the Pokemon Professor. This world is inhabited by creatures that we call Pokemon. People and Pokemon live together by supporting each other. Some people play with Pokemon, some battle with them. But we don't know everything about Pokemon yet. There's still many mysteries to solve. That's why I study Pokemon every day. Now, what'd you say your name was? So officially, this character is either known as Gold or as Ethan. Hang on. But of course, I'm going with my own name. Whoops, that would have been awkward. Hayden. Hayden, are you ready? Your very own Pokemon story is about to unfold. You'll face fun times and tough challenges. A world of dreams and adventures where Pokemon awaits. Let's go. I'll be seeing you later. So here we are in the Johto region. Improved upon immediately from Generation 1 is the inventory system, where your bag is split up into multiple different pockets for storing specific items. You got your basic items like potions and whatnot. You got the ball pocket for storing all your Pokeballs. You got the key items bag for storing very important items like the bike and stuff that you cannot easily get rid of. And then you got TMs and HMs for teaching Pokemon different moves. There's your trainer card, which shows like basic information like your ID, how much money you have, and your playtime. You can save the game, of course, and go into the options menu to change some things. Got text speed to fast at the moment. I think one of the things I want to do is change the style of frame. Yeah, I like this frame. We'll go with this. Whole collection of Pokemon picture books. So immediately there's quite a lot of different things we can do. Unfortunately, there is no potion that we can withdraw from the PC in this game. It's sad. We got the mailbox, which is a new feature introduced in Generation 2. And we got decorations. This is something that we'll be going into probably much later in our adventure. But you can actually decorate your room with different stuff. And there's a map of the region. Johto is quite the interesting region, as we will soon see. Oh, Hayden! Our neighbor Professor Elm was looking for you. He said he wanted you to do something for him. Oh, I almost forgot. Your Pokemon gear is back from the repair shop. Here you go. Pokemon gear, or just Poke gear, it's essential if you want to be a good trainer. Oh, the day of the week isn't set. You mustn't forget that. What day is it? It's currently Saturday as I'm playing. Is it daylight saving time now? Yes. Come home to adjust your clock for daylight saving time. By the way, do you know how to use the phone? Yes. Don't you just turn the Poke gear on and select the phone icon? Phone numbers are stored in memory. Just choose a name you want to call. Gee, isn't that convenient? So yeah, we have a new item in this game called the Poke Gear, which can be accessed in the menu at any time. It's basically a phone, but it has a lot of other features, as we will see later on in the adventure. There's a movie on TV. Stars dot the sky as two boys ride on a train. I better get rolling too. Let's see what's in the fridge. Fresh water and tasty lemonade. The sink is spotless. Mom likes it clean. Mom's specialty, Cinnabar Volcano Burger. As you can see, you can interact with a lot of different things in this world. A lot of different stuff you can do in Johto compared to the original games. Yo Hayden, here Professor Elm discovered some new Pokemon. What, a whole 100 of them? Hi Hayden, my husband's always so busy. I hope he's okay. When he's caught up in his Pokemon research, he even forgets to eat. How sad. When I grow up, I'm gonna help my dad. I'm gonna be a great Pokemon professor. Sure you will, kid. Pikachu's an evolved Pokemon. I was amazed by Professor Elm's findings. He's so famous for his research on Pokemon evolution. I wish I could be a researcher like him. That's actually a really cool detail, considering that Generation 2 introduced so many new evolutions and pre-evolutions for Pokemon. It's cool to have a professor that's focused on that. Wow, your Pokegear is impressive. Did your mom get it for you? Who told you? Who's this kid? So this is the famous Elm Pokemon Lab. What are you staring at? Ow! Dick! Alright, let's go see the professor. Hayden, there you are. I need to ask you a favor. I have an acquaintance called Mr. Pokemon. He keeps finding weird things and raving about his discoveries. Anyway, I just got an email from him saying that this time, it's real. It's intriguing, but we're busy with our Pokemon research. Could you look into it for us? I'll give you a Pokemon for a partner. They're all rare Pokemon that we just found. Go on, pick one. So right away, we get our choices of Pokemon. And let's look at these options we got here. We got Cyndaquil, a fire-type Pokemon with emphasis on special attack and speed, much like Charmander before it. We also got Totodile, a water-type Pokemon with emphasis on attack and defense. And then, finally, we have Chikorita, a grass-type Pokemon with emphasis on defense and special defense. This may sound very weird, but I kind of want to go with Chikorita for this game. I think that's a great Pokemon, too. I'm kind of gonna go over this later, but Chikorita's not a very popular choice in this game. Right away, we have our option to name our Pokemon. And I've been thinking about it, and I think I will name my starter Kale. It's a good name for a little grass type. Mr. Pokemon lives near Cherry Grove, the next city. It's almost a direct route to there. If your Pokemon's hurt, you should heal it with this machine. Oh, here's my phone number. Call me if something comes up. And we get the professor's phone number. How nice. And like that, we already got our first Pokemon. It's very nice. So Chikorita is holding a item, which is a berry. So that was something that was also introduced in this generation. The status screen is also majorly improved from the first generation too, getting to see their statuses, their experience point totals, their held item, their full move sets, their stats. It's very nice. The window's open. Pleasant breeze is blowing in. Hope that doesn't come back to bite us. We don't need a heal. Hayden, I want you to have this for your errand. We get a potion. Very nice. There are only 2 of us, so we're always busy. Yeah, that must be unfortunate. Well, now that we got our first Pokemon, it's time to head off. Pokemon hide in the grass. Who knows when they'll pop up. So it's time we make our way over to where Mr. Pokemon is. Shouldn't take us too long to get there. And of course, we got some wild Pokemon in our way. The Johto region is home to a lot of Pokemon, many of which came from the Generation 1 games. So starting off with Pidgey, which is your basic normal flying type. They have relatively alright stats. They can be a good teammate if you wish to use them. And like that, Kale wins his first battle. Very nice. Like right away, I really love the color palette of this game. Just everything on screen just pops out with how bright everything is. If they're weak and not ready for battle, keep out of the grass. It's a good warning. You can see there's a whole lot of trees here. Gives this area a very nice natural feel to it. Something I definitely love about the second generation is that visually it looks really good for a Game Boy era series. Now come on, Kale. Voice of this is back when tackle's kind of weak. It's actually a really strong Rattata, level 4. Which means it'll give us a lot of experience points if we manage to take it out. Come on, Kale. This thing keeps using Tail Whip, which could be trouble. Come on, Kale. So while we make our way over to our destination, I think it's good to just kind of go over what's been going on in my life for the past couple of months since the last time I've really been streaming a whole bunch. We got Kale's first level up, which is very nice. So I've basically just been doing a lot of work and stuff. Got to spend Easter with my folks, which was very nice. Good to see my mother and my aunts and uncles again. So that was very fun. I've also been catching up on a lot of series I've been watching. Recently I've been revisiting the Teenage Mutant Ninja Turtle show on Nickelodeon that they had back a long time ago. In like 2012, God. Hard to believe that can be considered a long time ago now. But yeah, it's a really good show. Used to watch it a lot when I was younger, and definitely glad I got to revisit it, because it still holds up very well. Wanted to take a break, so I saved to record my progress. Yeah, you do you, man. And some other stuff by watching recently, I finally discovered the Sonic Adventure 2 fan dub, and just, my god, is it hilarious. Basically, a group of people basically ad-libbing a dub for Sonic Adventure 2. They're voicing over certain scenes and characters, and just a lot of the things they say are just so funny. Like, if you haven't seen it, I highly recommend you do. Just for the Eggman bits, because whoever voices Eggman just is so goddamn funny. Everything he says is frickin' gold. So if we examine these weird trees, we actually get some items from them. That's a berry. Our Chikorita held a berry when we first got him, but we had to use it in a battle because his HP got too low. So we'll just equip that back to him. There's nothing else really of note on this route. It's a pretty basic area, has a lot of grass and a lot of Pokemon, like this Centret. It's basically the Johto equivalent of Rattata, being a pure normal type. And all around, it has pretty basic stats. If you want to use one, good for you. I'm not really interested. And like that, we just used our second berry. And like that, Kale grows to level 7. Very nice. Shouldn't be too far away from getting our first attack. Hello, old man. You're a rookie trainer, aren't you? I can tell. It's okay. Everyone's a rookie at some point. If you like, I can teach you a few things. Okay then, follow me. There's a Pokemon Center. They'll heal your Pokemon in no time at all. You'll be relying on them a lot, so you better learn about them. Thank you. There's a Pokemon Mart. They sell balls for catching wild Pokemon and other useful items. Route 30's out this way. Trainers will be battling their prized Pokemon there. This is the sea, as you can see. Some Pokemon are found only in water. Here, it's my house. Thanks for your company. Let me give you a small gift. Thank you, Tutorial Man. Poke Gear becomes more useful as you add cards. Wish you luck on your journey. So that man gave us a new feature for our Poke Gear, where we can now use it to access the Johto map whenever we want. Johto's not that big of a region. I'd say it's about the same size as Kanto, but there's still a lot we can do here. Pokemon gain experience in battle and change their form. Pokemon change? I'd be shocked if one did that. Cherry Grove is a very basic town, just full of more people. Not really anything of note besides the Tutorial Man. You trying to see how good you are as a Pokemon trainer? Better visit the Pokemon gyms all over Johto and collect badges. Can do, sir. But a good thing about Cherry Grove is that it's the first place where we can access the Pokemon Center and the Mart. Pokemon Centers will heal your Pokemon up anytime for free, so be sure to use them whenever you need to. Color palette in here is very nice. No, I didn't want to talk to you again. it's great. I can store any number of Pokemon, and it's all free. The communication center upstairs was just built, but they're still finishing it up. That PC's free for any trainer to use. So there's a PC in the corner of the room that you can use at any time to store or withdraw Pokemon as you see fit. When I was walking on the grass, a bug Pokemon poisoned my Pokemon. I just kept going, but then my Pokemon fainted. Should keep an antidote with you. That's a good warning for later. So you can see the mart we can use to buy certain items. They currently don't have any Pokeballs, which is kind of awkward. This is gold, so I don't think we're going to need the antidote right away. Yeah, we'll be good. And that said, it's time to move on to the next route. There's a lot more Pokemon over here than the ones we saw back on the previous route. So now we can encounter Caterpie, a bug-type Pokemon. It has very low stats, but it evolves very early on, reaching its final form at level 10. I highly recommend using the Caterpie family, actually, because its evolution gets a lot of good status moves, and can be a pretty good attacker early on. Come on, Kale, you got this. Also of note is that Caterpie in this area is exclusive to Gold. If you're playing Silver, you would encounter Weedle instead. Kind of interesting how they did that for this generation. Speaking of which, there's also a third version of this game called Crystal, which includes a bunch of other features and stuff that some would call it the definitive version of this game. But I personally went with Gold because that's the version I first played when I was a kid, and also there's a Pokemon in this game I want to add to the team that is unavailable in Crystal. What are these kids doing? Go, Rattata! Tackle! What? This is a big battle! Leave me alone! Fine, jeez. Although I admit that Rattata looked very impressive, almost like it's the top percentage of Rattata. So we got some more items here. That is the PSN Cure Berry. It's supposed to say Poison Cure, but it's not a... But, you know, text limits and whatnot. So if you make your Pokemon hold that kind of berry, it'll heal your Pokemon whenever it gets poisoned, which can be very helpful. Hello, you must be Hayden. Professor Elm said that you would visit. This is what I want Professor Elm to examine. The Mystery Egg. I know a couple who run a Pokemon daycare service. They gave me that egg. I was intrigued, so I sent mail to Professor Elm. For Pokemon evolution, Professor Elm is the authority. Even Professor Oak here recognizes that. If my assumption's correct, Professor Elm will know it. Aha, so you're Hayden. I'm Oak, a Pokemon researcher. I was just visiting my old friend Mr. Pokemon. I heard you were running an errand for Professor Elm, so I waited here. Oh, what's this? A rare Pokemon. Let's see. I see. I understand why Professor Elm gave you a Pokemon for this errand. To researchers like Professor Elm and I, Pokemon are our friends. He saw that you would treat your Pokemon with love and care. Ah, you seem to be dependable. How would you like to help me out? See, this is the latest version of Pokédex. It automatically records data on Pokemon you've seen or caught. It's a high-tech encyclopedia. And with that, we get the Pokédex, which allows us to see comprehensive information about every Pokemon in the game. Sadly, there aren't any real rewards in this game for catching certain numbers of Pokemon and filling up Pokédex entries, so I'm not really going to focus on catching Pokemon during this adventure, unlike in Leaf Green, which had a lot of different rewards to benefit you for catching Pokemon. Goodbye, Professor Oak. You're returning to Professor Elm. Here, your Pokemon should have some rest. I'm depending on you. Alright, that's cool. A whole pile of strange coins. Maybe they're from another country. Well, that's neat, and we got a new item. Go over to Kiem's, we can see we got the mystery egg. Perhaps this will play a larger role later on in our story. Let's see here. Hello, Hayden? It's a disaster! It's just terrible! What should I do? Oh no! Please, get back here! Now! So it looks like we got a new mission. So we gotta head back to New Bark Town, not only to deliver the egg, but to see what trouble is happening. By this point, I would highly recommend raising your starter Pokemon up a few levels, just to prepare yourself for some fights ahead. As long as you're around level 7, you should be good. And we got another Caterpie here. Little Winky. Speed fell. That's annoying. Take that. I'm kind of thinking about other things I could say on the way to the lab. I guess I could say that I got a new phone recently. Yeah, I finally upgraded my phone to the iPhone 8, and it's pretty good. And with that, I've been playing a lot more Pokemon Go lately. Wait, say what you will about it, I think it's improved quite a bit from its early days. It'll be nice to see just how much they keep on supporting it. Like, they'll probably add Gen 5 Pokemon in a couple months. Alright, Kale's decently leveled. I think we're good. So I want to head back over here. You got a Pokemon at the lab. What a waste, a wimp like you. Don't you get what I'm saying? Well, I too have a good Pokemon. I'll show you what I mean. So we're getting attacked by a strange passerby. We don't know who he is right away, but he has a Cyndaquil, one of the Pokemon that we could have gotten from Professor Elm. Intriguing. So basically, this guy will have whichever Pokemon is super effective against your own. If I had chosen Cyndaquil, he would have gotten Totodile. And if I had chosen Totodile, he would have gotten Chikorita. Oof, critical hit. Should be good, though. There's really not much to this battle. As long as you're higher level than this guy, you should have no trouble beating him. And with that, we get to level 8. And we learned our first stab attack, Razor Leaf. Humph, are you happy you won? My name's... I'm gonna be the world's greatest Pokemon trainer. Ow. It's kind of odd that he would tell us what his name is, considering what he did. In Heart Gold and Soul Silver, he drops his trainer card, and we figure out his name based on that, which is kind of cool. But for now, let's see what's going on at the lab. I heard a Pokemon was stolen here. I was just getting some information from Professor Elm. Apparently was a young male with long red hair. What? You battled a trainer like that? Did you happen to get his name? Officially, this character's name is Silver. Okay, so Silver was his name. Thanks for helping my investigation. Yeah, how original. His name is Silver, and one of these games is called Silver. Oh well. Hayden, this is terrible! Oh yes, what was Mr. Pokemon's big discovery? Eggs. This? But is it a Pokemon egg? If it is, it's a great discovery. What? Professor Oak gave you a Pokedex? Hayden, is that true? That's incredible! He's superb at seeing the potential of people as trainers. Wow, Hayden, you may have what it takes to become the champion. You seem to be getting on great with Pokemon too. You should take the Pokemon Gym Challenge. The closest gym would be the one in Violet City. Hayden, the road to the championship will be a long one. Before you leave, make sure that you talk to your mom. Hayden, use these on your Pokedex quest. Thank you. To add to your Pokedex, you have to catch Pokemon. Throw Pokeballs at wild Pokemon to get them. Thank you. Now, remember what Professor Elm said about going to our mother right away? We can actually not go visit her, and something will happen later on because of this. I've seen you a couple times. How many Pokemon have you caught? Would you like me to show you how to catch Pokemon? Yeah, why not? See, Game Freak, this is how you do it. This is a optional tutorial. We didn't have to say yes, but because we did, we get to see this guy. Dude, use the Pokeball. I love the fact that he's called Dude. Like, they don't give him a name, he's just Dude. It's so awesome. But yeah, he basically shows you the gist on how to catch Pokemon. That's how you do it! If you weaken them first, Pokemon are easier to catch. Alright, and now that we got Pokeballs of our own, it's time we go get ourselves some new teammates. Not on this route, however. There are some Pokemon that we can find on a different route that I'm very looking forward to putting on the team. For now, let's have Kale take this Pidgey out. And now let's head up here. We could have gone this way sooner, but there wasn't anything we could do up here without Pokeballs. You can't climb ledges, but you can jump down from them to take a shortcut. As we can see here, we're on Route 46. It's a route that leads up into the mountains, but because of these ledges, we can't go any farther than here. However, there's a lot of Pokemon in this area that we are able to catch. And this is where we're gonna find my first teammates. That's right, teammates. There are 2 Pokemon in this area I'm adding to the team. So we're gonna search around the grass for a bit to find them. And here's one of them now, Spearow. Ooh, level 2? So I'm actually gonna KO this one because level 2 is so weak. I'm gonna get a higher level one. But yeah, I want to add Spearow to the team. It's a very fast, very strong, normal flying type. In fact, it's a little bit stronger than the Pidgey line. And it evolves into its final form much quicker. So it's a pretty good Pokemon to get. And here is the other Pokemon I want to catch, Geodude. It is a rock ground type Pokemon, which against a grass type like Kale, if I use Razor Leaf, I would most definitely kill it. So let's weaken it with Tackle. Just a little bit. That should be good. And now let's use this Pokeball. Now, come on. Let's weaken you a bit more. That's better. Come on. I really hope I don't run out of Pokeballs trying to catch this Geodude. Okay, that should do it. She's plenty weak now. There we go, we finally caught it. Geodude, the rock Pokemon. Most people may not notice, but a closer look should reveal that there are many Geodude around. Of course, I want to give this Geodude a nickname. Might as well name you after a tough-sounding rock. So we'll call you... Wait, not Rudy. What am I doing? Ruby is what I'm calling you. I know she's not red, but come on. Geodude has high emphasis on attack and defense. And in my opinion, Geodude is a really good Pokemon to use in the Johto region. We will see in due time just why. But for now, let's go hunting for that Spearow. Because I really want to add a Spearow to the team. It'll be very fast, has good power. There. This one's level 3. That's much better. We catch you. Oh, come on. Alright, we used up another berry. Come on. Alright, that's so close. If we could just safely catch this thing, that'd be very nice. Come on. Come on. There we go. Spearow, the tiny bird Pokemon. It flaps its short wings to flush out insects from tall grass. It then plucks them with its stubby beak. Now, what am I going to name you? Well, since it's called Spearow, I'm thinking of naming it after another type of weapon. Halberd. I think that's a very fitting name for him. Very nice. Again, Spearow are very fast and very strong Pokemon. And now they got our new teammates. Let's head off back to Cherry Grove so we can make some more progress. Because if you remember, we didn't get that far up the next route, what with all those kids having their battle. But by now, they should be done and we can make some more progress up to Violet City. By the way, those berry plants that I picked from, they are renewable, but you have to wait a day before you can pick some more berries. Alright, let's get Halberd in the front for now. So considering what we want to face, we might want to switch Ruby up soon. But for now, we'll go with Halberd. Ooh, Metapod. So that's the evolution of Caterpie. It is incapable of attacking, so this is a very easy chance for Halberd to get some easy experience. All Metapod can do is use Harden to boost its defense. Meanwhile, Halberd would just keep pecking away at it until it is done. Very nice. And that he goes to level 4 already. So good. Everyone's having fun battling. You should too. So let's switch Ruby up to the front for now. I just lost, so I'm trying to find more Pokémon. Wait, you look weak. Come on, let's battle. So this is one of the most infamous trainers in the game, Youngster Joey. It's not readily apparent just why he's so infamous in the Pokemon community, but we'll just see. Oh, come on, Ruby. You missed your very first attack? Why? Now, Ruby is really good this early on because of her typing. She resists practically every Pokemon in this area, since a lot of the Pokemon start out with normal type attacks like Tackle. So Ruby can just sit there, tank the hits, and just damage their opponents. This makes Geodude really useful to have early on, just because it's such a solid tank. You know, that Ruby gets a level 4 as well. Ugh, I don't have any more Pokemon. I have to have more Pokemon for battles. I'm gonna catch some more. Wow, you're pretty tough. Can I get your phone number? I'll call you for a rematch. Now this is a rather interesting feature. As you no doubt saw earlier, we could access our phone via the Pokegear. You can actually register the phone numbers of certain trainers in the game. Now this is a very key feature for getting to see certain Pokemon, as some Pokemon will become much more common in certain areas, and these people can call you to let you know about that. There are also some times when these characters will ask you for a rematch, and they'll call you about that. So it's good to get a couple phone numbers in. In Gen 2, however, you are very limited in how many phone numbers you can have, so you want to be very careful about which characters you register. Let's take out this Pidgey. go through this area. And I just want to talk about some stuff that's been going on for the last couple of weeks for me. Because me and a few other people over on the Maryland Discord server have been playing Stardew Valley together. As in, we were playing it in co-op mode, where we pretty much got 4 people running a farm together, and we all have our own various tasks and help to improve the farm together. It's really cool getting to play the game like that. I always like getting to experience its games in different ways, and this has definitely been very fun. Getting to see what we're able to accomplish together. Like, we're still in our first year in Stardew, and we managed to accomplish quite a bit. See, I've also been playing Stardew Valley in my own time to kind of just do some stuff in my personal file. And that's going along pretty well. Good work, Ruby. Traditionally, how I play Pokemon is that I have the lowest level Pokemon in the front of my party so they can gain experience the fastest. Instead of a bug Pokemon, I found a trainer. So here we encounter a new class of trainer, the Bug Catcher. Traditionally, they use Bug-type Pokemon. And this is another reason why I wanted Halberd on the team. Because he starts out with a Flying-type attack, he's able to easily decimate these Bug Pokemon. Look at that, that is so good. Oh, I love you, Halberd. Another Caterpie. Get him, buddy. Come on. Very nice. Ah, you're too strong. I ran out of Pokeballs while I was catching Pokemon. I should have bought some more. Yeah, should always remember to keep that in stock. Hello? Hayden, I heard from Professor Elm you went on a long trip. I wish you would have told me. What about money? Should I save it? There is some stuff we can get with our mom. Let's do that. Okay, I'll save your money. Hayden, keep it up. I'm rooting for you, baby. So this is the thing that happens if you do not talk to your mom immediately after delivering the mystery egg to Professor Elm. She'll call you at that spot, and then she'll ask if she can save your money. So your mom basically works like a bank in this game, where she will save some of the money you earn from battles. And if you want to retrieve it, you need to go back to New Barktown in order to withdraw the money she saves. It's pretty helpful considering at this point in the game, if you wipe out in a battle, you lose half the money you currently have. So she can be pretty helpful that way. She can also buy certain items, although they're not really that helpful most of the time. Dark Cave. If Pokemon could light it up, I'd explore it. We may go in there later. There's an antidote. It heals poison status. I walked too far today looking for Pokemon. My feet hurt and I'm sleepy. If I were wild Pokemon, I'd be easy to catch. And here we get a Bitterberry. Go see what that does. The Bitterberry cures confusion. That'll be a status we see much later on. Got another Pokeball there, which is good. I caught a bunch of Pokemon. Let me battle with you. Sure thing, kid. Bugcatcher Wade. It's got some more bug Pokemon, which Halberd will just eat up. I just want to kind of get this out of the way now, but I find Generation 2 to be a very easy generation in terms of difficulty. We'll be seeing this much later on, but a lot of trainers are just very low level. And barring a couple of major battles, a lot of the bosses are pretty simple to deal with. But again, we'll be dealing with this much later on. In fact, I'd say that Generation 2 is one of the easiest generations to play. Ah. Good work, Halberd. Let's put Ruby in the front for now. Let's take you out. Very nice. Ruby learned Defense Curl. That is a status move that increases defense. We'll see much later on just how useful stat boost can be. I found a good Pokemon Dark Cave. I'm gonna raise it to take on Faulkner. He's the leader of Violet City's gym. So we now know the name of the person we're gonna take out. Did you visit Sprout Tower? No. I came too far out. I better phone home. Like E.T.? Whatever. With that, we finally made it to Violet City. The site of our first gym, which we'll probably take out today. Thank you, miss. It was around 3 years ago. Team Rocket was up to no good with Pokemon. But justice prevailed. A young kid broke him up. Sounds nice. Excuse me. A guy named Bill made the Pokemon PC storage system. How nice. Pokemon are smart. They won't obey a trainer they don't respect. Without the right gym badges, they'll just do as they please. How fascinating. Ghosts are rumored to appear in Sprout Tower. They said normal-type Pokemon moves had no effect on ghosts. Ooh, creepy. I collect Pokemon. Do you have Bellsprout? Want to trade it for my Onix? So, I do highly recommend going for this trade if you want a rock type at this point of the game. We will be able to get Onix a bit later on, but it's really good to have an Onix this early on because it's a very fast rock type. Like, much faster than Geodude is. Hey, you're a Pokemon trainer. If you beat the gym leader here, you'll be ready for prime time. I much prefer Rhine time! There's the Pokemon gym. We can go in there pretty much any time, but we're gonna save that for later. Faulkner from the Violet Pokemon Gym is a fine trainer. He inherited his father's gym and has done a great job with it. Hello, your trainer. Battle gym leader when you did? No. Is that so? Then study shall you. Follow me. This guy's pretty fabulous. As you can tell by the way he keeps dancing. Here, teacher I am. Good it is you study here. I traded my best Pokemon to the guy beside me. Huh? The Pokemon I just got's holding something. So this is pretty much a school where you can learn some various things about the game. Pokemon holding a berry will heal itself in battle. Many other items can be held by Pokemon. Sure, it's tough taking notes. I'm taking notes of the teacher's lecture. I better copy the stuff on the blackboard, too. Earl I am! Wonderful a Pokemon, yes? Teach you I will to be a better trainer. What, you want to know? Want to be a winner as you? Good, teach you I will. In battle, Pokemon top on list jump out first. Change order in list, make battle easy, maybe. More from me you want to hear? So, want to know to raise Pokemon well? Fine, teach you I will. If Pokemon come out in battle even briefly, some EXP points it gets. At top of list, put weak Pokemon. Switch in battle quick. This way weak Pokemon strong become. Yep, the blackboard just describes the various status ailments. So this place is pretty good just to learn some basic information about the game. And how to perform best in battles. I do appreciate it, even though I'm way above this. Got another store here. We can actually buy items now. So I'm gonna buy a few more Pokeballs. Probably want to buy some more potions. These could be good too. They temporarily raise your Pokemon's stats in battle. We can get an escape rope later on, but that'll be useful for later. Buy some more potions. Alright, that should be good. Pokemon can hold items like potion and antidote, but they don't appear to know how to use man-made items. Yep, so a Pokemon cannot use a potion in the middle of a fight. Right on, old lady. I saw a wiggly tree up ahead. If you touch it, it squirms and dances. Cool. Interesting. She used the names of her favorite things to eat, for the nicknames she gives to her Pokemon, I mean. How interesting. I call my Pidgey Strawberry. Pidgey! I mean, I named my starter Pokemon Kale, so that's not too far-fetched. I don't know. I just like naming my Pokemon, gives them more identity. An odd tree's blocking the way to Goldenrod City. It's preventing me from shopping. Something should be done about it. How interesting. Well, hey, I was gonna snap that tree with my straight arm punch, but I couldn't. I'm a failure. So we're not gonna be able to deal with this for a while, but be sure to remember it for later. Why don't we head south here? Did you see that strange tree in the road? That may explain why fewer people are visiting the ruins of Alf. Don't you wonder who's makes something like this, and why? Welcome to the ruins of Alf. This is a rather interesting area. The ruins are about 1,500 years old, but it's not known why they were built, or by whom. There are odd patterns drawn on the walls of the ruins. They must be the keys for unraveling the mystery of the ruins. Welcome to this chamber. There are sliding panels that depict the Pokemon drawn by the ancients. Slide the panels around to form the picture. To the right's a description of the Pokemon. A Pokemon that hid on the seafloor. Eyes on its back scan the area. this is pretty neat. We have a little puzzle that we can solve here. Very simple. Simply grab the panels to the sides and then fit them onto the area in the center. I remember these puzzles used to give me a lot of trouble when I was younger. But if you put it like that, you get the puzzle. And it's a Kabuto. Uh-oh. Eep! There's a strange presence here. Oh no, it's not too bad in here. Oh my god, I'm being attacked by Alphabet Soup. This is unknown. It is a Pokemon that was introduced in this generation, and not gonna lie, it is very weak. It only has one attack in the game. An attack that's typing is different depending on the Pokemon's characteristics and whatnot. And just, it is not very useful. Its stats are very weak. It only has access to one attack. It's definitely not worth using. In fact, the most interesting thing about Unknown is that its appearance matches a in-universe language. And that there are different Unknown based on each letter of the alphabet. So I guess that's pretty cool, but I don't know, I just find these Pokemon very underwhelming despite the lore that they give them. I highly recommend not adding it to the team unless you really want to challenge yourself. Also, you only unlock a couple of unknown varieties by solving the puzzles up on the top floor of the Ruins of Alph. So if you do want to collect unknown forms, that's how you get the different varieties. But for me, I just don't care. Oof, Albert's getting pretty weak. And we took it out. Good. They do give pretty good experience if you want to train, but there's practically no reason for me to interact with those things anymore. They're a waste of time, kid. They're a waste of time. Look and touch to recite. Try the sliding stone panels. You're studying the ruins? I see a scientist in the making. No. No, I'm not. Have you gone to the Pokemon gym? You can test your Pokemon yourself there. It's a rite of passage for all trainers. This guy will actually block our progress until we finish up the gym. So we'll go take care of that for now. But I really want to get past this guy because there's a Pokemon in that area that I want to catch. So we got a PRZ Cure Berry. That cures paralysis on any Pokemon. Can be helpful. But for now, we heard about an area called the Sprout Tower. And I think it'd be a good idea if we go check that out. So we saw a bit of Sprout Tower earlier when we went to the north of town. So let's head right in. A bell sprout over 100 feet tall. People say that it became the center pillar here. Fascinating. See the pillars shaking? People are training upstairs. Sprout Tower was built long ago as a place for Pokémon training. Only if you reach the top will you obtain an HM. Fascinating. Hello. However hard we battle, the tower will stand strong. So we got some sages to fight here. They all use Bellsprout, a grass poison type that can be pretty helpful. I actually do kind of recommend using one. Although getting to their final form can be kind of awkward in this game. We learned Leer on Halberd with that level up. There's also an excellent area to train if you got fire or flying type Pokemon. It's because they do so much damage to the Bellsprout here. It's pretty much going to be an all-you-can-eat buffet for Halberd. Come on, buddy. You got this. I fought hard, but I'm too weak. Again, kind of goes into my issues with this game and how it's very easy. Just so many trainers are so low level. Like, we're already around level 7 on everybody, and these guys are still using level freeze. Sage Chow. That is an interesting name. Whatever, we'll just let Halberd take care of all the things here. There are also wild Pokemon you can encounter in the tower. Normally, you only encounter Rattatas here, but at night, you can encounter Ghastly, which is a ghost poison type Pokemon. And Ghastly I do recommend using for a lot of reasons. Mainly, it's very fast and learns a lot of status moves, but it's also a very solid special attacker. So if you can teach it some good moves, it can be a very helpful teammate. And Halberd takes that guy out. Thank you. Youngster Joey's calling us. It's me, Joey. How you Pokemon doing? My Rattata's really energetic. It's a handful. Oh yeah, I managed to beat a tough Pidgey. I need to make my party stronger. See you later. Yeah, sometimes the trainers you register in your phone will call you about some feats that their Pokemon do. Really does not affect anything. Just basically flavor text. Hello, sir. Sway like leaves in the wind. Edmund. See what you got for me, buddy. Again, he just uses a bunch of Bellsprout. Just have your fire or flying type destroy them. Kind of another issue I have with the early Pokemon games is that a lot of trainers, they just fill up their teams with just the same Pokemon over and over again. Like, I know they've been a lot better about team diversity in the later games, but it's just such a hassle here just to see so little variety. And they shouldn't have this problem. There's over 200 Pokemon in this game. Up here now we're getting an encounter. Just a Rattata, nothing more. Good work, Halberd. potion over here. Up here we got some more trainers. I train to find enlightenment in Pokémon. Cool. Sage Gin. Arceus knows I could use some gin about now. Just kidding, I don't drink. The spell spread actually hung on there. But it's not enough to survive. Very nice crit, Halberd. Beaten by a mere child. The Elder's HM lights even pitch black darkness. Take that, Xehanort. Sage Neil. Let's take this guy out. Growth. That would be threatening if it weren't for Halberd here. Take that. Now he's level 10. Very nice. It's my head that is bright. Okay. Let there be light on your journey. Thank you. Let me see how much you trust your Pokémon. Troy. He's got a Bellsprout. Much higher level than the others. And now he uses Hoot Hoot. So this is a normal flying type Pokemon introduced in this game. It has high special defense and it can learn quite a few psychic type attacks. So it's a nice Pokemon to have if you don't want to go for Pidgey or Spearow on your team. However, catching it can be a bit of a pain because it's only encounterable at night. Ruby go after it because she can easily handle its attacks. And we should have it down very soon. Yes, your trust is real. Thank you. I want to have Halberd in the front still. You are indeed skilled as a trainer. As promised, here's your HM. But let me say this, you should treat your Pokemon better. The way you battle is far too harsh. Pokemon are not tools of war. Humph! He claims to be the Elder, but he's weak. Stands to reason. I never lose to fools who babble about being nice to Pokemon. I only care about strong Pokemon that can win. I really couldn't care less about weak Pokemon. Geez, now I know who was the inspiration behind Paul. We got an escape rope over here. And why don't we see what this Elder has for us? So good of you to come here. Sprout Tower's a place of training. People and Pokemon test their bonds to build a bright future together. I am the final test. Allow me to check the ties between your Pokemon and you. Sage Lee. Also known as Elder Lee in Heart Gold and Soul Silver. I also like the battle in Heart Gold and Soul Silver because they give him a completely original sprite that distinguishes him from the other sages, which I can really appreciate. It's very nice they went with the extra detail there. Let's Let's have Ruby take out this Hoot Hoot. It's a little bit stronger, but we should have no trouble against it. Use Foresight. That is an attack that removes any accuracy or evasiveness buffs on the opponent, and it can also be used to attack Ghost-type Pokemon using normal and fighting attacks. So, it has some practical uses. Come on, Ruby, you almost got this. Almost got it. There we go. Good work. Goes to level 9. That's very good. Not enough to learn a good attack yet. That's kind of a problem with this game, too, is that sometimes Pokemon learn their attacks at very late levels. Something that gets greatly improved upon in later generations. And with that, we take out Sage Lee's Bellsprout. And that takes care of his team. Ah, excellent. You and your Pokemon should have no problem using this move. Take this Flash HM. Near that, we get HM5. Flash illuminates even the darkest of all places, but to use it out of battle, you need the badge from Violet's gym. Speaking of Violet Gym, I think that's going to be our next destination. Good work, Halberd. You can take some rest. It's a powerful painting of a Bellsprout. I actually managed to get a good amount of experience before facing the gym, which I appreciate. Now, if this were Heart Gold and Soul Silver, we would have to train a bit more because the gym can be pretty challenging if you go into it under-leveled. But because this is Gen 2, we don't need to train. We're already a good level to face the gym leader. So let's go do that, and I think when we beat Faulkner, we will end this session. So far, we've done very good. Hello, sir. What do you got for us? Hey, I'm no trainer, but I can give some advice. Believe me, if you believe a championship dream can come true, you believe, then listen. The grass type's weak against the flying type. Keep this in mind. So yeah, we cannot use our grass type here because Kale is gonna suffer. Let me see if you're good enough to face Faulkner. I don't know, I'm pretty good, buddy. Birdkeeper Abe. Bird keepers, as their name implies, use mainly flying-type Pokemon. As we see here, we got a Spearow. Ruby should have no trouble handling this thing. Critical hit, that's nice. One more hit should do it. Very good. Ooh, level 10 already. That's so good. This can't be true! Sorry, kid. What do you got for us? The key word is guts. Those here are training night and day to become bird Pokemon masters. Come on! Bird Keeper Rod. It's got a Pidgey. Ruby should be able to handle this. Pretty much if you got a Geodude here, you're all set, because these guys can't do anything but normal and flying attacks. Very nice. Now the Pidgey should be very easy. Come on, Ruby. You can do this. Ruby, come on. Almost got it. There you go. Good work. Gah! And one more battle and Ruby will level up. I think I'll go take out one more wild Pokemon before we go fight the gym. I think that'll be very good. Come on, we need a good Pokemon here. Metapod. This should give us no trouble at all. There we go. Very nice. And now Ruby, learn Rock Throw. That's going to be very helpful for the gym. Sadly, something in this game that's not the best is that they don't show the accuracy of the attacks. Personally, would have liked if they changed that, but who knows. Whatever, it's not that big of a deal anymore. These are things that they improve upon in later games. But for now, we are pretty much set for the battle in the gym. Especially now that we got that attack. I'm very happy we trained that extra level to get that attack. I'm Faulkner, the Violet Pokemon Gym Leader. People say you can clip Flying-type Pokemon's wings with a jolt of electricity. I won't allow such insults to bird Pokemon. I'll show you the real power of the magnificent bird Pokemon. So here's the first gym leader, Faulkner. He can be challenging if you decided to go with Chikorita like I did. If you go with Cyndaquil and Totodile, obviously he won't be that much of a trouble. But we still managed to compensate for a weakness by going for Ruby. Will deal super effective damage to these Pidgeys. Unfortunately, Faulkner's Pokemon know an attack called Mud Slap, which deals ground-type damage, which is actually good against rock Pokemon, but it also lowers the accuracy stat, which can be problematic. And its strongest Pokemon is Pidgeotto. It's level 9, which is severely lower than what Pidgeotto should normally be at. Which we'll see more of that later on. But for now, let's just go for the offensive. Come on, Ruby, you got this. There we go. We had very little trouble against Faulkner. Whew, good work, Ruby. Darn, my dad's cherished bird Pokemon. Alright, take this. It's the official Pokemon League Zephyr Badge. Zephyr Badge raises the attack power of Pokemon. It also enables Pokemon to use Flash if they have at any time. Here, take this too. We also get TM31, which is Mud Slap. Reduces the enemy's accuracy while it causes damage. In other words, both defensive and offensive. Good work, Ruby. You managed to easily handle this gym. I didn't think we would have that easy of a time, but she really pulled through for us. I'm very happy. As I said before, Geodude is a really good Pokemon to use in Johto. Hello, Hayden. We discovered something about the egg. My assistant's at the Pokemon Center in Violet City. Could you talk to him? Alright, let's go see what he has to say. Hayden, long time no see. Professor Elm asked me to find you. He has another favor to ask. Would you take the Pokemon egg? We discovered that a Pokemon will not hatch until it grows in the egg. It also has to be with other active Pokemon to hatch. Hayden, you're the only person we can rely on. Please call Professor Elm when that egg hatches. So this is a new feature implemented in Generation 2. Eggs. It's currently unknown what the egg actually contains. The only way to figure out is for the egg to hatch. In order to hatch eggs, you simply need to walk around with the egg in your party. Later generations would introduce new features that help make hatching eggs so much faster. But for now, we'll just keep the egg in our party and let it hatch whenever it is necessary. But for now that we've defeated the gym, there is one last thing I want to do before we call this stream. So I'm gonna go down here. You have some good Pokemon there. Must be from the training you gave him around Violet City. The training at the gym must have been especially helpful. As a souvenir of Violet City, take this. It increased the power of Grass-type moves. We get the Miracle Seed, a very beneficial held item. So this increases the power of Grass-type attacks by a few points, so it can be helpful. We'll give that to Kale. And here's where I want it to be, the tall grass on this route. I believe this is Route 32, actually. But here we can get some more levels in, and more importantly, find the Pokemon I've been really excited to catch. Because it is a good one. It's one of my personal favorite Pokemon. So I'm really excited to get to use in this game. In fact, it's the main reason why I went with Gold over Crystal. It's just because as this Pokemon is not available in Crystal. So I really would have been disappointed if I didn't get to use it here. Now go away, Rattata, you're not what I want. Eat my boosted Razor Leaf. I really like lot of the attack animations in this game. They're very dynamic compared to the attack animations from the first generation games, which is very nice. Man, that Rattata's actually really high level. I just realized. Dang. Still gave me some good experience. There it is! The Pokemon I've been very excited to add to the team, Mareep. It is an electric-type Pokemon. Compared to most other electric-type Pokemon, it's not very fast, trading in speed in exchange for better defensive potential, but it's still a very strong Pokemon, especially when it gets fully evolved. It's also incredibly adorable. I just think it's super cute. One of the cutest Pokemon in the series. Come on, get in the ball. There we go, we caught Mareep. Mareep, the wool Pokemon. If static electricity builds in its body, its fleece doubles in volume. Touching it will shock you. I really want to name you. What am I gonna call you, though? Dang, I wish I was more prepared for this. Let me think. Okay, I think I will name you Jean. I know, I think it's a cute name for a cute Pokemon. Look at her, she's so cute! Ah, that is very nice. Our team is filling up nicely. We have already managed to beat the first gym leader. I think that is a very good point to call it for this stream. We'll go heal up, and then we will save our game. So all in all, I think this is a very good start to adventure. The team is going very nicely. We've taken down a lot of important battles. And our journey is only going to get more and more interesting the farther we go along. Next time on Pokemon Gold, we're gonna make our way south of Violet City in order to see the challenges that lie ahead. Until next time, have a good day and take care.